Hello again everybody. I wasn't expecting to be doing this again quite so soon actually, but this is like I sort of treat this one as a sequel actually to my last rant about the Triumph petrol tank that I tried selling on a well-known popular auction site, which came back to me because someone bought it without looking at the description. We all know that anyway, and what I'll do is I'll provide a link at the end of this video to the previous one about the whole drama and performance about selling a tank and having to give a refund and whatever to someone I'll still refer to as Mr. Richard Head actually. I thought that was the end of it. I finally managed to get him refunded, but of course I had to get the refund sorted within 2 days or I'd be in trouble, you see. So I frantically tried to sort it out and found that I had to use a bank card in my name to issue the refund. So no problem, I got one, and I went through the process of entering the numbers and all the other details that I had to do to issue the refund, only to find out that for some reason my card wasn't being declined, but there was a problem. This thing kept popping up, and it was to do with my business telephone banking, and I needed to provide some more details and blah blah blah. So there was a number to phone, so I phoned the number and I thought, well, no problem, I've got my card and I know my name and my address and all sorts of details like that. This will just take a couple of minutes and we'll be up and running in business and get this idiot who didn't read my description refunded and get him off my case. Anyway, the upshot of that was that I got asked all sorts of questions. I got, what is the long number across the front of your card and the expiry date, my bank account number, my sort code, my full name and address, all that sort of stuff. No problem, rattled it off. I know my sort code and my account number off by heart. And then this question came up then, how long have you had your account? You see, so I thought, well, it must be about 20 years. But I said, I don't know exactly, but it's been a long time and probably about 20 years. What date did you open the account on? Well, I'm standing there on the phone trying to sort of process a payment for this clown who bought the tank without reading my description. I hadn't really expected to be asked what was the date when I opened my account 20 odd years ago or whatever, and I'd given all the sort of important information I could think of, like I've just mentioned. But anyway, the upshot of that was that my business telephone banking was put on stop, which means that where I used to be able to phone up, say someone paid me by a bank transfer or something like that, and I could phone this number and go through a quick menu and find out if the payment had come in and then confirm with my customer, yeah, you're all clear, all paid for, come and get your bike or whatever. At the moment I can't do that because that is all on stop. Someone has paid me, so they tell me, but I can't confirm it, and I'm not going to say thank you for the payment because I'm sure he probably has paid me, but until I can actually see for myself or be told by a sort of robotic voice that the money is in, I'm not going to say thanks for the payment. So all that's on hold. I think I can still use my card to buy things, thank God. Anyway, this is the tank. As we know, it's rather famous now. And this tank, actually, I hope Mr. Richard Head might be watching this, because after all the trouble it's caused, I'm actually going to give it away. I've got someone in mind, I think, who could probably use it and probably make a nice paint job of it and make it look nice. Even though it might not fit a bike, it'll look good on a shelf. So that's where that's going. I'm not having a penny for it, and it's slightly better than me standing there with a sledgehammer shouting and flattening it. But back to the banks. We are talking, of course, petrol tanks, planks, that's Mr. Richard Head, and banks. Now, my bank, there was an option for me if I wanted to. I could go to my nearest branch to sort this problem out. Yes, okay. Go to my nearest branch. Right, okay, that's a 50-mile round trip then, plus finding somewhere to park and having to pay to park and the fuel and everything. Yeah, that's a great option, that is. There used to be a branch of my bank in the nearest town, 4 miles away in Llandudno. There used to be a few banks there. In fact, Llandudno, believe it or not, check it out on Google, was where the Bank of the Black Ox started. It was a drover's bank, the Bank of the Black Ox, and years later, the Black Ox, they turned it into a horse. It was the Bank of the Black Horse. You got it, Lloyds Bank. Now, Lloyds Bank can trace its ancestry back to Llandudno. I wasn't using Lloyds Bank actually, I haven't used them for a long time. I was using another one called HSBC, I think. But they upped sticks and left Llandudno as well, actually. And there are no banks left in Llandudno anymore. But do you know what? When Lloyds Bank, that was originally one time the Bank of the Black Ox, had not long left Llandudno, they put a great big billboard up on the side of the main road there with a great big advert for Lloyds Bank with Black Horse galloping on it, and something like "With You All the Way" or something. And I thought, how ironic. So this really is just my thoughts on banking and so the whole sort of inconvenience of having to you can't just go to your local branch anymore and sort things out. Apparently there is a van for Lloyds Bank, which I don't use, that comes to Llandudno, I think once or twice a week or whatever, for the duration of an hour. And apparently there are so many people that want to use it, when the hour's up, he just shuts the doors and sorry everybody, and off he goes to the next village or town, wherever he goes, I don't know, but they've never got enough time to sort everybody out. So this is a little bit of a pop. Thanks to Mr. Richard Head, the plank, and the petrol tank that he bought, I'm taking a pop at the banks. And it's just ridiculous, really, that we are supposed to be customers and the banks are serving us, but we've got to jump through hoops for them and go tearing around the countryside for them. I didn't go to Carmarthen. Carmarthen is actually where I would have had to go to get to my nearest branch, almost 25 miles away. Absolutely ridiculous, that is. And I'm still waiting. With help from my wife yesterday evening, I actually managed, more down to her than me, to fill in an online form to put this right. But do you know what? It's probably going to take 4 to 5 working days. Now, in the age of the email and all this electronic communication and everything, you would think that they could do better than that, wouldn't you? But no, I'm in the dark as to who's paying money into my bank for the next 4 to 5 days, thanks to Mr. Plank and his petrol tank. Rant over.